From the same studio that brought you the hit War of the Worlds from last year comes Mercy. And I'm not gonna lie, this isn't horrible. This honestly isn't a horrible movie, but I don't know what Amazon Studios is thinking, pumping out garbage left and right. You have one of the biggest companies in the world backing you, and you've come out with these two shitters back to back. Really don't know what they're thinking here, and it's not just the story that's going on here that I really not a fan of, but the looks, the people you're hiring, actor wise, it's just so bad. Even director wise, who the fuck is Timur Bekmambetov? No idea who this is, and this could have been a really good worse version of Minority Report. And while I don't think this movie's horrible, and I would recommend this movie to people, to be honest, aside from the AI stuff, I don't know what they were thinking here. Going into this, I was expecting a 1 out of 10 version of Minority Report, but honestly, the detective stuff, some of the cop stuff work really well for me. I think the interface for the AI looks really good. I'm hoping that's all CG. It looks like it, so I'm hoping that's true. But it honestly looked really cool. I liked how everything was moving around Chris Pratt. They had Chris Pratt sit in a chair for the entire fucking movie, but they had settings going around him. You had the truck scene where the truck flies by him. He's inside the house. He's inside multiple houses. He's next to the building that blows up. I think that all works really, really well for me. But otherwise, this movie looks pretty shit. A lot of it is because this movie tries doing the cop footage gimmick, and it looks really, really bad. The CGI on the weird helicopter bikes looks fucking horrible, like so bad. The chase scenes are okay, but altogether this movie just honestly looks like I don't even know what it looks like. Maybe like a really bad Redbox movie. I'm surprised, this movie just looks so bad. You have so much money to work with, and then you just don't use it. I think that's fucking weird. Story-wise, I don't think it's too horrible. I mentioned it earlier. I don't mind the suspense and build up to the finale, even though it's very predictable what happens towards the end. But I like Chris Pratt looking for stuff and going through files and cameras and remembering his neighbor has the birdhouse camera and who was at the party and separating the friends and everything. And it really works for me. Detective-wise, crime. Why am I thinking crime? Why am I zoning out? Mystery story-wise, I think this really works for me, but the action parts of this movie are pretty fucking garbage, though I do like that they make the world have consequence. There's a guy driving around in a truck like he's in GTA 5, and he is killing people. He's hitting them. He's smashing into cars. It's kind of like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 scene where the Rhino's just driving the truck and hitting everybody and definitely killing people. I really like that. It makes the world have some risk to it. There's lives are going to be taken because of all this bullshit that's happening. There's a truck with a giant bomb inside of it, even though it's destroyed by destroying the remote. I thought that was really stupid. You have the scene where they go into the shed and the shed blows up and all the SWAT members blow up and die, and I thought that was really good. You have Jacqueline, Chris Pratt's buddy cop on the helicopter bike, and she gets flung off by Rebecca Ferguson, and you can tell she takes damage from it. I really like it. A lot of the risk that these characters are taking and the world just being so vulnerable, I think I enjoyed that a lot, and it's probably a reason why I enjoy this movie a lot more than other people. But man, elephant in the room, AI being the main story point of your movie is going to get a lot of people mad. And I know people are just going to rate this movie 1 out of 10 or fucking 0.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd because it's propaganda, because it's AI supportive. I think most of this movie is pretty anti-AI, and I think if they kept it that way throughout the end of this movie, it actually would have made the movie a lot better. You would have showed that the judicial system should not have AI as a judge, which is fucking stupid, right? It makes mistakes. Even the last line of the movie, everybody makes mistakes. Well, an AI that has information to every single thing throughout the movie, and yet somehow also doesn't have it, should not be accountable for people's lives. It's so fucking bad that at the end of this movie they forgive Rebecca Ferguson's character and the AI judging. I think it's fucking dumb. That last line is just so brutal, and it knocked down half a star for me, to be honest. But I can't say the movie's too bad. Honestly, it's a bit funny that they have a timer in the movie that's just in the top right the entire movie that tells you how many minutes are left. I really dug that. I thought that was hysterical. Maybe unintentionally, but I thought it was hilarious. I love Chris Pratt's back and forth, Rebecca Ferguson. There's a lot of funny lines they're exchanging, and there's some sass between them, and I really enjoyed that. One thing I did not like at all about the AI, aside from it having a getaway at the end by everybody making mistakes, is Rebecca Ferguson's fine in this movie. I think a lot of her facial acting is actually not too bad, but I would have much preferred if she was just an interface, completely interface. The whole point of the Maddox system is it's supposed to be AI. There's supposed to be no human thought behind it, and for some reason we have Rebecca Ferguson staring at us the entire movie. I didn't like that. There's also a lot of scenes where she's smirking and smiling, and of course you have the whole end sequence I just talked about where she's acting really, really human, and she's finding stuff to help Chris Pratt, and she's actually getting feelings and emotional. I don't like that at all. But again, that's just this movie's poor writing towards the end, and not having the AI just be a complete fuck up. I think that was its biggest mistake. If Mercy just continued its anti-AI approach for what felt like the first 40 minutes of this movie, or first half of this movie rather, I think this would have been a banger. This would have been a really slept-on underdog movie that everyone was going into hating, and unfortunately I think most people were right. I will say the story is okay though, it's enjoyable. I would recommend this to friends, family, despite the AI stuff. I don't think my friends are stupid enough to fall for that. I just need Amazon Studios. If you have money behind you, how about you actually use it? Like I said earlier, visually this movie's poor. You're getting actors that don't cost a lot of money. Let's be honest, Chris Pratt will probably do anything if it involves propaganda or AI, clearly, because he wanted an AI actress. So I just think this is a fumble. And I'm glad Amazon has no part in the WB buyout. So, with Mercy, if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. You might like it. The ending, I think, will suck for anybody, unless you're a full AI guzzlord. But other than that, it's okay. It's honestly not the worst thing I've seen this year. And I've seen some really bad movies this year, and this, thankfully, is not the worst of them.